Hi, I'm Kari. On today's episode, Professor Kimbo and I are going to teach you how to make your very own traditional casket spray. Today's project involves weeds and flowers that you might not necessarily think are beautiful, but we're going to take them and create something personalized and amazing on a very low budget. This project can be done with all store-bought flowers, but the majority of the materials that I use in today's video actually came from the back alley. I'm so excited to teach you how to make this project on a budget of $30. Let's get to work. This is Kari Peters Passing, the DIY funeral channel, where you can create amazing celebration of life ceremonies for your loved one. The most important thing when creating a casket spray is a casket spray saddle. I ordered this off of Amazon. It was $6 and then 2-day shipping was another $4, so $10. This will prevent your casket spray from sliding off of the casket, and it will also hold water to water your flowers. You'll want to order this probably the day of the funeral arrangements, unless you have about a week in between. The second thing that we'll need is this floral foam. There's two types. There is wet and dry. This floral foam was $2 for $2.50. This particular foam is for the wet kind. The other kind is for synthetic flowers. I just got this at the dollar store. What we're going to do is we're going to unwrap. They fit snugly into this saddle, just like that. But for extra precaution, I'm going to glue these down to the bottom because the spray that I'll be making is quite heavy. Even though that fits snugly, I just want to make sure that the weight of the flowers on the outside are not pulling that up and out. I've got a needle point that I'll be using that was made by a family member of mine, and a picture frame holder. Now you might say, well, that's kind of feminine for Dad, but you can put whatever personalized memorabilia into the casket spray that you'd like. I prefer to have something on the smaller side. As a funeral director, I've had families bring in a fishing rod and hammers, anything that you like. So we're going to take this picture frame holder, which needs to be mounted into the spray so that it doesn't slide around. And I've got a bit of wire, and this particular casket spray saddle has some very small holes along the edging here that we're going to wire this picture frame holder down, and we'll just trim off the excess. Now that we've got this wired on, we're going to begin building our casket spray. I have a bunch of gladiola and daylily leaves that I cut down from my garden, and these just get inserted into the foam. When choosing leaves, we want to make sure that we are choosing leaves with a strong stalk. These leaves are less likely to wilt, and as you can see, here is our gladiola leaf base. I picked up some of these weird seed pod roots. I really liked the color and the texture and how brown they were. So I'm just going to go in and cut with my pruning shears. And I'm just going to measure so that the base of these is approximately the same length as my gladiola leaves. And when you're putting this into the foam, just make sure that you direct it firmly. I live in a middle-class neighborhood, which is just starting to be gentrified. A lot of the older houses have large yards, and so the people that own the houses don't necessarily keep up the alley, which is fantastic because that gave me all of this material to work with. Basically, nobody cuts down all the weeds in the alley, so I went and did it for them. If you live in a new build community, it might be a good idea to take a drive through some of the older neighborhoods that might have some weed growth. The people that had these particular brown seed pod plants were more than happy to have me cut them down. And it's autumn. Most people don't mind if everything gets cut back at this time of year anyways. So the next set of weeds that I found were these very airy looking yellow flowers. I just grabbed a single stalk, which we're going to cut back and cut down and layer in on top of the broadleaf plants that I've added into the base. The ironic part of this project is it seems that the more airy the casket spray looks, the more expensive and natural looking it is. And so adding in these weeds actually makes it quite fancy looking. Next, I've got these brown and white flowers here that I was actually informed were poisonous. I really love the look of them anyways, so I'm going to put them into the casket spray. It might be a good idea to be careful when handling outdoor plants that you don't know the species or the name of. And so as I'm working my way towards the top of the spray, the flowers are getting cut shorter so that they're not sticking way above the top of the casket. And now you might be looking at this thinking, oh, that looks like just a pile of weeds. But when we're finished, it's going to look amazing. It's all about the textures and colors and layering. I have some tree branches with red berries, and we're just going to add those in on top of the gladiola leaves. In nature, things all grow kind of together. So we don't want this to be totally uniform everywhere. We want kind of haphazard clumps. Next, I'm going to add in some Virginia creeper. At this time of year, it has these beautiful dark purple berries. And I'm just going to add that in and drape it around the front. I'll tuck in the sticks so that they can absorb water. As you can see, this is coming along quite nicely. It's getting very full. This is now about 3 feet across in every direction. So I picked up a pot of mums from the grocery store because it was cheaper to pick up a pot of them than it was for a bouquet. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to snip some purple flowers from here and I'm going to add them in. And this is a mixed bunch, so it actually has multiple colors. Now that I've added in a few of those, I'd like to add in some sunflowers, which I actually got from my backyard as well. And we want the flowers to be facing up so that they're viewed. And then I'm just going to add in some sprigs here, just so that it's a little wild on top as well. And I'm just going to put one big one right in behind that picture frame right there. And so here we have our beautiful autumn casket spray made out of mainly weeds from your backyard. The most important piece of information that I can give you in regards to this casket spray is don't forget to water it. Now that this is watered, it's ready to go on top of the casket. Anyone can do this project, even Professor Kimbo. We want to thank you so much for watching the video today. Hit that like button and subscribe for more videos of how you can be more involved in the funeral service of your dearly departed. We'll see you next time on the next episode of Kari Peters Passing.